it was the day my stepmother gave me away to marry a poor man. My heart sank as she told me, without even a hint of care in her voice. I remember the morning well. The sun was already high in the sky, but my mother was still sitting quietly, eyes lost in thought. My stepmother had been acting strange for weeks, always whispering with my father about plans for my future. I didn't understand, but I knew something wasn't right. When she finally spoke, her words shocked me. "You will marry him. It's time." I stared at her, confused and scared. "But he has nothing. He's poor. How can I marry someone like that?" She looked at me, her eyes cold. "You'll learn to make do. He's a good man, and that's all that matters." I wanted to protest, to tell her that I wanted more than just a life of struggle. But I knew better than to argue. She had always made decisions for me, even when they didn't feel right. My father, sitting there quietly beside her, didn't speak up either. He never did. The man I was to marry had no wealth. His home was small, made of mud walls, with a roof that leaked whenever it rained. He worked hard, yes, but he didn't have enough to feed himself, let alone a wife. I had seen him around the village, but we never spoke much. I felt like I was being sold, like a piece of property. My heart broke, but I said nothing. Later that evening, I packed my few belongings. My stepmother didn't help, nor did she show any sympathy. She simply told me, "You will learn to adjust. You're no longer a child." I left the home I had known all my life, walking toward the house of a man who had nothing. My father didn't come to say goodbye. He just watched from the door as I walked away, like he knew I had no choice. That night, as I sat in the small hut with my new husband, I couldn't stop thinking of what could have been. But there was no turning back. The decision had already been made for me.